Hey everyone, Mano here. I have had a lot of questions on my last video on 0 Hour Heroic and Normal mode, so I thought I'd take care of a lot of those questions today. So right now, the 0 Hour Heroic and Normal mode is very bugged. If you have not done the normal 0 Hour to get the Outbreak Perfected Weapon, go to the farm and take care of that, but I have it unlocked on Heroic. There are two different jumping platforming puzzles, so if you're watching this and being like, oh, there's a glitch going on, yes, there is, but you need to make sure you know which mode you're doing, Heroic or normal mode. There's two different jumping puzzles. Let me show you how I run this. This is how I run it when it's not bugged, and also when I do run it when it's bugged. I use a Sentinel Titan because of resupply and controlled demolition. Because of that, I'm going to be able to get my life, my melee, and my grenade energy back ridiculously very quick. Now, because it's bugged, I'm going to be using RiskRunner primarily as my weapon, but I'm also going to use a Long Shadow for long distance enemies. Right now, while it's bugged, it does not matter what heavy weapon you use. You can use 21% Delirium, you can use Hammerhead, you can use anything if you, but honestly, I'm going to do this run here because it's bugged and not use any other weapon other than RiskRunner and my sniper. Now, the armor that I use is going to be any armor that gives you a nice version of resilience, but honestly, after that, I use Doomfang Pauldrons because of the way that it builds super energy, even though it got nerfed recently with the launch of Season of the Worthy. So I'm going to take you through everything that you need to know. First of all, if you want the catalyst, here's what you have to do. You either have to do it 5 weeks in a row by killing the boss to get the Siva particulate and then get the headshots and everything else that you need, or you need to do it 3 weeks and also do the puzzles. I'm going to leave a link to the puzzles and the arc configuration, void configuration, and solar configuration down in the description box below. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and get to the enemies. You can see here that I put my shield down really quickly. I kill all of the different enemies. I put the shield up not because I need to reload, because RiskRunner, when it's procced, does not need to actually reload, but I put it there to stun those two fallen guys that come at you with the swords. I want to kill them as quickly as possible. As soon as I get through here, what I'm going to do is take my sniper, and I want to knock out those snipers off in the distance because they can actually do still quite a bit of damage. Now, as soon as I get Arc Conductor procced, which is again the RiskRunner's exotic perk, I'm going to start mowing down through these different enemies, and I'm going to try and keep Arc Conductor procced as much as possible. Since this is bugged, I'm able to basically fly through all of these different enemies very quickly. I hop on top of the roof over here to make sure that I'm in cover for a second, and then I take out all these enemies here. This is a pretty slow run for me, but I'm taking a second to kind of talk through things, and I want to make sure that I cover all my bases here. So, very, very easy. Again, if you like something in this video or you're finding this helpful, join our Discord or make sure you subscribe and check us out on twitch.tv/manodestra777. I've been doing lots of helps over there. Probably have gotten 100 or so outbreaks since the bug has been coming in since last week. Okay, I use my snipers to kill a couple enemies over here. Again, that is optional. I basically just don't want to use RiskRunner on those guys. I want to keep moving on. You could just use RiskRunner and keep moving. Doesn't matter. Now here you can either use RiskRunner because Arc Conductor will get procced, or you can use your super. I like using my super here because that works very well with the amount of flow that I have. There has been a question too, is Mano, can you use other classes on this? While it is bugged 100%. When it's not bugged, you can still do it, but it's very, very tricky. I find that the Sentinel Titan, because of my ability to build up super energy and also you get my life back with controlled demolition and stuff like that, makes it the easiest class to use. Some people aren't good at their tank. Now, actually, watch the tank over here. This is a perfect example of why controlled demolition is so good. I just chucked that grenade at the tank, and because controlled detonation puts all these little micro detonators on the tank, it just absolutely gets destroyed. Now here, I'm literally just going to run into this guy, this fallen captain, and I want Arc Conductor to proc. Now, I want Arc Conductor to proc so I can sit here and mow through these enemies. Again, when this is on normal mode, again, this is not as easy. There's been a theory going around right now that Bungie messed with the damage numbers on this to make it easier for people to get Whisper of the Worm and 0 Hour and get the weapons so that people buy the cows. Yeah, that's just wrong. First of all, if they were going to do that, they would have made the heroic version of Whisper also bugged, which they didn't do. Second of all, the damage values in Crucible are also messed up. I'm pretty sure when I snipe something, it's not 26,000 damage or anything like that in PvE or PvP. So anyone who's got that conspiracy theory, yeah, you're wrong. Don't do that. Okay? All right, putting that to rest. Moving on. Again, I'm going to get Arc Conductor procced here. Either you let these guys up here snipe you, or you basically let them hit you with a melee or something like that. They all have arc energy. Again, RiskRunner is a really good choice on normal mode or when it's bugged. Doesn't really matter. This is exactly the same, by the way, on the normal mode. The only difference is going to be coming up here, which I'm going to describe here in just a second. I'm going to show you the difference between the normal mode and the heroic mode. On normal mode, what's going to happen is once you go down this elevator shaft, there's going to be a little path that takes you down to a large platform. There is a ship to the left-hand side. That is the way that you go for normal mode. We're not doing normal mode today. We're going to the heroic mode. I always say that looks like an E for heroic mode, okay? So we're going to come down over here to the grates. Come down over here. I rotate over here. You are looking for this grate here. Now, again, if you're looking for the void configuration or the arc configuration or the solar configuration, you need to make sure you pick up the key cards. All of those things are down in the description box below, but I'm not doing that on this run. Now, I've had some people actually talk about the fact that you only need to pull one lever. Look for this piping system here that I'm describing there. Pull the lever diagonally across from it, and that is going to open up door number 3 in the room that you need to go. This is the big room that the path takes you to. I call it the waterfall room, even though it's not really a waterfall. You can see that the water system moving here. You're gonna look up over here. There's door number 3. You're gonna hop up on top of this ledge here. And then you're gonna jump on top of these little platforms here. Now, I find some people mess up here because they push forward and they jump at the same time. The way to do it is jump and then press forward. Then that will allow your character to mantle really easily. We're gonna come down over here. Now, in my last video, I missed this jump and some people gave me a hard time about it, and they're exactly right because I made a mistake. What you need to do is jump down kind of the level where you're at here and then kind of strafe glide over to it, at least if you're on your Titan or on your Warlock. If you're on your Hunter, you have to do it a little bit differently, but this will work just fine. You can see that I make these jumping puzzles here. Again, if you're running with some people, make sure you hit that switch there. That will get some easy platforms that people can jump to really easily. Now, you're going to follow these 3 pipes over here. This is going to take you outside to the wall of the city. Now, I'm doing this on PC. On PC, I still feel like I move ridiculously fast, so I take this a little bit slower than I do on console, and I kind of make sure I take my time with my jumps. So here, what can happen is you'll want to feel like you fall off the edge. I always stop my jump just a little bit ahead of time to try and hit those platforms. So you can see I stop my jump right about there. I aim for that round platform there. Jump up here. Now, this is kind of how I do it if I'm on console and I'm jumping up. I try to leverage my jump into another jump and just keep moving. Go up the 3 pipes, and if you go up and you can't see any other pipes, there as far as you need to go. Now, there's a ton of platforms you can use. There's this platform ahead or down below. Now, if you use that pipe down below, that pipe is going to fall down once you land on it. This platform here is also going to come down very quickly, so you need to get off that platform as quickly as possible. Make a jump around the corner here. What you'll see is these platforms here. I like to jump and strafe. Jump and strafe, and then I do a single hop. I don't activate my second jump. I just do a single hop, use my momentum to take me up to the second platform, move up and around. Again, this is where one of the key cards would be if you are looking for one of the configurations, if you're looking to get all of those things taken care of for the configuration puzzles. Now here, you're moving so quickly, oftentimes people die. I actually use my barrier there as almost like an air brake. It works very well. I kind of discovered it a couple of days ago, but I was running into a lot of problems on console. Because I would kill myself there because I'd have too much momentum. So doing that stopped me. Okay, we're going to go up to these 2 pipes here, and then you're basically into the normal version of the 0-hour mission. Everything else is pretty much the same except for this singe. What we're going to do here is we're going to come down here. Now, a lot of people ask me how I do the fans as quickly as I do. I'm going to do the safe route today. What you want to do is you want to try and land on that center platform. But you'll notice here I'm kind of walking on top of the fans. That's also where you can go. You can kind of use those. You'll see here I kind of press forward. I go a little bit farther forward here. I'm going to start going a little bit faster on this. If you can do it right, you can actually fall down all of those paths, touch the pipes for just a second, and get your jump back. So I'm able to do that pretty darn carefully. Now on this, it's very easy to fall off the edge. Just keep spamming the direction you need to go. Like here, try and catch the edge right here on that side. If you die, it's not a big deal because it just takes you to the bottom of the fans. Nothing crazy here. Here, you want to space out your jump as much as possible. Hit the switch again so you can get some platforms if you're the first person there, so you can help out your teammates if you are running with a group. If you're running it solo, you don't have to hit it, but I just like to show where it is for context. Okay, so a lot of people ask about how I never get hit by Trevor. Trevor has 3 set paths. I'm actually going to put the paths up on screen here so you can see what's going on. If you follow my path, you will never see Trevor. As long as you run exactly the way that I do, you will never see Trevor except for when he originally spawns. That's because he has 3 set patterns that basically just rotate through 1, 2, 3. And what you're seeing there is the very, very first thing that he does where he spawns in. So if I do this correctly, I'm never going to see him. There are a number of cubby holes throughout this entire mission that you can actually hide in, but you shouldn't need to do it if you're the first person here. Now, if you're not the first person here, that means that Trevor is going to spawn in earlier. You kind of need to use your awareness of where his light is to know if you need to hop into one of the cubby holes. And yeah, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come backwards. I'm not going to go forwards. I'm going to come backwards, and I'm going to cut through the middle. A lot of people don't know about this shortcut, and they go the long way around. I'm going to use those 2 piping systems here to basically cut through the middle, and because of that, I'm going to miss Trevor's second rotation entirely. He's basically going back around originally by the spawn area and over to the left where I was earlier. I go over here to the back right, or front right, depends on how you look at it, but I'm going to hit that switch there. This is one of the few times I will have to wait for a second, kind of hang out. Nothing really I can do here but wait. You can see that Trevor's moving his way up a little bit. You can see his light right there, but I know that he's not going to come over here. What he's going to do is he's going to cut up to the exit where we're going to go, but he's going to go back over to the left-hand side. So I won't see him until he doubles back over on the right-hand side here. So I have no issues here. I haven't died. I haven't missed any jumps. This is a flawless run, too. I don't die at all here. So what you want to do here is as soon as you go through that, you need to jump and get over that electrical field as fast as you possible. Don't wait. Go over through the exit and go. Hit one of these elevator switches. Now, you don't have to use the elevator switches. Some speedrunners and things like that get like an extra second off because what they do is they use these sides over here. You can see I'm looking at those sides. They basically go back and forth on those sides. For me, I've run this so many times that I actually just like to use this as like almost like a resting period to kind of just hang out for a second. Now here, once the elevator gets up to a certain point, it's going to stop. It will not take you all the way up. So you want to make sure you jump up as soon as you think it's going to fall down. Here, if you don't jump like this, you could take potentially lethal damage as you hit the ground. Here, you'll see I don't take any damage on that particular run, basically just because I slowed down my speed. Nothing crazy. What you're going to do now is you're going to go down into the vault room. As soon as you go down into the vault room, look for this gold chest here, and you're going to look for the cryptarch symbol. That is right there. Go ahead and push through it. Now, this is where you need to look at what singe it is. It's going to be a void singe, an arc singe, and a solar singe. There is a different floor puzzle for every week, and if you are wondering what that looks like, again, I will have a link in the description so you know how to do it. Of course, if you're the first person there, there is a switch where you can turn off that trap. However, that trap is only turned off for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. I've had some people who were there back by Trevor or Trevor killed them, and they try and run through that next section and they don't know the puzzle and they end up dying because the trap turns back on. All right, we're going to fall down through this hole over here, come up over here, and then you're basically just at the end. This is not very difficult here. This doesn't take a lot of work, but a couple of notes. What you're going to want to do is clear the ads out first. You'll notice that I wait to do damage on the boss. So many people are so worried about the boss that they're like, yo, I need to kill the boss and do as much stuff as possible, but that's just going to spawn more ads in. You need to kill the ads first so that you can handle the situation and so that you don't die. I'm going to come over here to the right-hand side. You may have noticed that I stopped for a second and waited for Arc Conductor to proc. The reason I did that is because that helps to increase the range a little bit and also the lethality of RiskRunner. I'm not going to kill the 2 turrets. You can do that if you want, but I actually just make a habit not to kill those 2 turrets. It does do a little extra damage to you, and you do need to be more aware of it. If you want to do that, you certainly can if you want to kill that, but it's not a big deal. Now, because all of those shanks shoot arc, I'm going to go ahead and just get Arc Conductor and just plow through those enemies. You will notice if you just stand out of cover, you will die. You'll notice I'm dipping back and forth between cover. Now, with those shanks gone, you will notice here that I'm going to kill a set of shanks and then I'm going to do damage to the boss. The reason I do that is because I want the boss to rotate. If the boss doesn't rotate on one of the sides before you kill the shanks will actually come back. So I'll describe that over on the other side too. So here I get my arc conductor back, take out the servitor, and right now, because this is bugged, it's so easy to do. I think like a single mountaintop shot can honestly take out. That's what people were saying in the comments before. I haven't done the mountaintop over there, but it's absolutely just very easy to do. Now here I am low on my health, so I'm going to chill for a second. There's going to be enemies that are going to spawn in that are invisible over in that area here. Here you can see that the boss is rotated all the way back around to the front, so I can kill those shanks with no worries. If the boss is still there next to where those shanks are, kill or excuse me, hit the boss as much as possible so he moves. Now here's another point where I like to use my grenades and control demolition because it is bugged, and you can actually do this on normal mode too because you get all your grenade energy back as long as you're smart about it. You can basically just yeet a grenade underneath all the tanks and that will do massive damage. That's on normal mode or on heroic or when it's not bugged. Right now it's bugged, so I'm basically destroying those tanks. You might need to give it a little bit of love. Like here on, I decided to just shoot those tanks really quickly. I could have thrown another grenade, but that would have been wasteful. Because you want to keep getting damage on the enemies so that you're good to go. You'll notice I left a couple of enemies alive here behind the boss. The reason I do that is because if you kill all the enemies, a bunch of enemies will respawn. So I kill the boss first. I'm going to kill this guy here, and then I'm going to turn around, kill this shank, and you are done. Hopefully you liked something in this video. If you did, a positive rating is greatly appreciated. Hit that subscribe button for more Destiny 2 content. Join our growing Discord. We are past 1,000 members. Also, check me out on twitch.tv/manodester777. Helped a ton of people get Whispers, Outbreaks, Shattered Throne completions with Wish Ender, Xenophage, all those things we do on stream. We hope to see you there. Good hunting, Guardians. I'll see you next time in the universe of Destiny.